Shalom, giving all praises to Yahawashi, Bahashim Makakodash, double honors unto the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to you, Akim. This is going to be a part 2 of the miracles of Yahawashi. I'm going to be using Mark the 5th chapter as a nucleus, as I had done before in the previous lesson. Of course, you can check that out. The availability of that is here. Excuse me. So this is Mark the 5th chapter. I'm going to start at the 35th verse. Pardon me. Verse 35. It says, "While he yet spake, there came from the ruler of the synagogue's house certain which said, Thy daughter is dead. Why troublest thou the master any further?" Verse 36. As soon as Yahawashi heard the word that was spoken, he said unto the ruler of the synagogue, Be not afraid, only believe. Be not afraid, only believe. And that itself, that itself is it's paramount for salvation. It's so important to not be afraid. And when it says don't be afraid, are you gonna, can something startle you? Can something have you perplexed? It can. But it shouldn't have rule over you. Your fear shouldn't dictate your decision making in the wrong way. What do you mean by that? Meaning, you shouldn't have fear of what man can do unto you, nor should you have fear that is a representation of a lack of faith. All right, the fear that you're supposed to have is according to Isaiah the 33rd chapter and the 6th verse. It says the fear of Yahweh is his treasure. So you're supposed to fear the Lord. You're not supposed to, have fear of man or have fear of, pardon me, you can't control your body, goodness sake. Running on a few hours of sleep, but it says you're not supposed to fear essentially, circumstances. If you're in a complex situation where the end is not clear, well, that's when you're supposed to put on the goggles of faith. Remember, faith is the evidence of that which is unseen and all that is hoped for. So when you're walking in faith, it's not based upon something that you can just see. That's not what faith is. So that's why the scripture says, only believe. Which when you truly believe and you only believe, you don't doubt, but you believe, that is a representation and an example of faith. That's you displaying your faith. It's also written, it says, a man may say he have faith and have no works. He said, the scripture says, show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show you my faith by my works. So you have to believe. You have to, truly believe. And when you believe and you truly believe, it will show in your actions. It will show in your works. Verse 37, it says, and he suffered no man to follow him, save Peter and James and John, the brother of James, which those were three of his top disciples. It says, "And he cometh to the house of the ruler of the synagogue, and seeth the tumult, and them that wept and wailed greatly." It says, "And when he was come in, he saith unto them, Why make ye this dole, and weep? The damsel is not dead, but sleepeth." Verse 40, "And they laughed him to scorn." Why? Because they lacked faith. They didn't believe in Yahawashi. They didn't believe that he was the Son of God. And in order to receive salvation, you have to believe that Yahawashi is the Son of God. That's a part of it. That's a part of this thing of ours. He said, "But when he had put them all out, he taketh the father and the mother of the damsel, and them that were with him, and entereth in where the damsel was lying. And he took the damsel by the hand, and said unto her, Talitha cumi, which is, being interpreted, Damsel, I say unto thee, arise." See, I actually just want to look into that word, Talitha, which in the Latin is Talitha, but of course it's going to have a Hebrew origin, which is Talitha is how you say damsel, which is talah, coming from the Hebrew word of lamb. Coming from the Hebrew word lamb. That's heavy. Damsel comes from the Hebrew word lamb. See, I didn't know that. This is what happens when you give diligence to make your calling and election sure. Our apostles have commanded us to do a lesson every day. When we do this, it's the principle of wax on and wax off is put in full effect. The principle of repetition is the father's skill is in full effect. Our educational curriculum is sharpened and refined by doing this. We learn things new every day because we have to go study. We have to read articles. We have to look up words. We have to study languages. We have to do these things. We have to look up history. So we have to look up secular history, this and that. And when you do this thing, when you do these things, you learn. And this is what separates Great Millstone from other camps, because we're a lot more learned than these guys. This we're like the Church of Berea. You guys are not. You don't do what we do. You just don't. And that's why you guys can't break down the scriptures the way we break them down. You can't go to the MOTB scripture. Then we started questioning these guys, and they start feeling their goddamn thumbs. You're not the prophets. You're playing the prophet. You can't break down to me Chai stigma. 603 score 6. What is the first 6? What is the second 6? And what is the third 6? What does it mean in Greek? How does it apply to prophecy? You can't go into them waters. You can't break down Chai stigma. You can't break down your. We say charagma so much, you guys want to jump on the charagma wagon, and so you're familiar with charagma. But what does charagma mean? You're making films about it and naming films after it. What does the word actually mean? What does the root word of charagma mean? What is the root word of that? What does that mean? And how does it apply to prophecy? These are the waters I'm talking about. You guys can't swim in. This is not we're not trying to insult anybody. We're not trying to make anybody upset. We're just trying to have you understand you're not what you think you are. You're not. And it'll be better for you to come to that so soberly, and have some type of sobriety about you than to continue to walk in the congregation of the confused and confounded. Anyway, let's go to the other word, and then let's see here. So talah, which in the Hebrew talah, and then let me see. Where were we? Goodness. And then yeah, kumi. I'm pretty sure it comes from the Hebrew word kwam, and the Greek is kumi, kumi. Word kwam. It comes from the Hebrew word kwam. Arise. See, it's the Hebrew word kwam. Arise, stand. That's why we say kwam yasharala. See, Yahawashi was speaking Hebrew. Goodness. What verse were we on? All right, verse 42. It says, and straightway the damsel arose and walked, for she was of the age of 12 years. Right. She was a young damsel. It says, and they were astonished with a great astonishment. He resurrected her from the dead. That lady was dead. What you mean she was dead? I thought she was sleeping. No, she was sleeping to the initiated, but to you she was dead. You know, her soul actually left her body like somebody who was dead, but Yahawashi revitalized her and refreshed her and quickened her. It says, and they were astonished with a great astonishment, and he charged them straitly that no man should know it, and commanded that something should be given her to eat. Right? He told them not to tell anybody, and he told them to feed her some food. And so, miracles of Yahawashi, showing you that he's the Son of God, showing you his divinity. You can take it or leave it. We're not going to be responsible for your lack of faith and stupidity. All right? We're just going to give you the word and move on. All right, and Lord willing, let's boost the faith of the hopeful elect. Give all praises, honor, glory, and worship to Yahawashi. Shalom.